Hey Yang Gang, thank you so much for your incredible support these past weeks and months. It has meant the world to me and Evelyn.
Hi Yang Gang, thank you so much for having us in your lives and in your homes, in your neighborhoods. You've kept Andrew going and he appreciates it so much.
When I started running, it was just my Gmail contact list. I had a vision for what this campaign could become, and we have surpassed even my highest hopes for the campaign, in that we've moved our entire country in a better direction. Now 72% of people between the ages of 18 to 34 believe that universal basic income is the right thing for our country. 2/3 of all Democrats believe that universal basic income is the right thing. We have accelerated the end of poverty in our country by years or generations, and it is all thanks to you. And I know that during this race, it's disappointing to not have won, especially given your incredible passion and dedication and energy, all your donations and phone calls and volunteering. But we should see this as not an end, but a beginning. Because I'll tell you, I'm not going anywhere. Evelyn's not going anywhere. You all welcomed Evelyn with open arms, and I'll say it even brought our family closer together. So this movement is just growing, is just going to continue to gather steam. One thing I was joking about with someone, imagine all the people that are going to discover random Andrew Yang YouTube videos over the next number of days, weeks, and months. The Yang Gang is going to continue to grow. We will be back, and we will keep fighting for this country that we love and move our entire society in a better direction. Wouldn't have been possible without you. From the bottom of our heart, please know that we love and appreciate you. Anyone who's given anything to this campaign, when I got started, I could only have imagined what we have become, and you have not seen anything yet. Thank you so, so much.
Andrew Yang last night announcing the suspension of his presidential campaign. And now the former Democratic presidential candidate joins us now. Great to have you on the show. Like the scarf look a lot, matches. But here's the question. What is this the beginning of? Where are we going to see you again?
Oh, well, thank you. My wife picked out the scarf. She has very good taste. The ideas of this campaign are just growing more and more popular. Now 66% of Democrats say they support universal basic income. 72% of voters between the ages of 18 to 34. So we're going to keep pushing the ideas of this campaign forward. We're already talking about the next steps. And if anyone wants my endorsement, all you have to do is come out for universal basic income. Say every American should get $1,000 a month, and then I will be there with you on the trail the next day.
I like that. $1,000 a month. Who's going to push that away? But I think some people might have had some questions about the reality of that. But you say this is going to keep going. Do you expect that you might run for another form of office?
Yeah, I'm certainly open to looking at other races. Obviously, right now, like, we're still taking some time to reflect, but I'm a young man. We're just getting started. The problems that animated this campaign are just going to grow and get more serious, and we need to just keep on working to solve them. That's my goal.
Really?
Hey, Andrew, it's Willie Geist. Good to see you this morning. Congratulations to you on running a great campaign and on stepping into the arena. We always have great respect for anybody who puts himself or herself and the family through that. There specifically, since Mika raised the issue of other offices, there's been a lot of talk about you running for mayor of New York City. Howard Wolfson, one of the chief advisors for former New York City Mayor Bloomberg, said yesterday you'd be a pretty good candidate. What do you think about that idea?
Well, it's incredibly flattering to be thought of in that role. I am a New Yorker, and I think that Mike Bloomberg did a great job as mayor, so he would know. We haven't ruled anything out at this point. I will say I'm more attracted to executive roles than legislative ones, because I think you can get more done. You can get your hands dirtier and actually roll up your sleeves.
All right, fair enough. So you said the candidate who put out universal basic income would win your vote. Let's say for a moment that that's not going to happen. Is there somebody, that notwithstanding, who lines up with you? Is there a candidate in the field who you've looked to over the course of this campaign and admired? Because, as you say, you have a big following. That Yang Gang is big. Where should they be throwing their support now?
Well, I'm on the record saying I'm going to support whoever the Democratic nominee is.
What about right
I don't
now,
have any
though?
plans to endorse just yet. I don't have any plans to endorse just yet. The candidates have been reaching out to me, which I appreciate. I've gotten to know many of them over the last number of weeks and months, and I'm going to miss campaigning alongside them. I'm going to support the Democratic nominee, and I'm certainly open to taking calls and figuring out if there's a particular candidate whose vision aligns most with mine in terms of how we can solve the problems and humanize this economy for people and families around the country.
Andrew, this is Claire McCaskill, and you had a great deal of success coming into this process as somebody who'd never run for office before. What if you were king for a day and could wave a magic wand? What would you change about a nominating process that would make it more fair, make it more open, and make it more realistic for someone coming in cold like you did?
Well, thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. Having run this race, I see how difficult it is for someone from the outside to break in. Certainly, we had a lot of people support us early on from alternative news sources. I think one thing I would recommend is some kind of change to the debate format where it's a little bit more robust in terms of your ability to get your ideas out there. Potentially have something that's asynchronous, where you have, for example, all of the candidates answer certain questions in longer time frames, then people can access them, making use of some of the modern technologies. I think that would be useful. Right now, the made-for-TV format of the debates lends itself towards certain types of conversations that generally remain pretty much on the surface.
All right, Andrew Yang, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for running. We will see you again soon with whatever you choose to do.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. You haven't seen the last of the Yang Gang.
There you go. I believe that. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, Poppy and Jim. Thank you. It was a tough night for many people, but we're really proud of the race that we ran, and we're excited to keep making progress on the issues that so many Americans have come together to say that, we need to actually improve people's lives here on the ground.
I saw someone, I was at the bookstore yesterday in Brooklyn, and a man was in there with his daughter, and as he was walking out of the store, he had a math button on the back of his hat. And it made me think about you. Obviously, you've changed, I think, the party. You changed the race. What do you think you left it with in this process?
Well, I hope one of the big lessons that the other Democratic candidates take from my campaign is that we can't just run against Trump. We have to run against the reasons that got him elected, that he's a symptom of a disease that's been building up in our communities for years, and we have to get to the harder work of curing the disease. Too many Americans do not feel like there's a place for them in the 21st century economy that is transforming before our eyes, that we need to start rebalancing the most extreme winner-take-all economy in the history of the world and put more economic resources directly into families' hands.
Okay, you're out of the race now. Who is the Democratic candidate best able to do that, to counter not just Trump himself, but Trump the message in the general election? Are you endorsing anyone?
Well, right now we're still obviously reflecting on our own campaign. I'm already on the record saying I will support whoever the Democratic nominee is, and this process is very important for voters to make their voices heard and see what the direction of the party is. So no endorsements right now, though other candidates have been reaching out to me over the last number of hours, which I appreciate a great deal.
Andrew, I think many people discounted you way too early. Many people didn't think you'd make it this far. Are you going to run again?
Well, certainly the problems that animated my campaign are not going away, and I'm not going away. The Yang Gang's not going away. So the plan is to keep on pushing the ideas of this campaign across the finish line. So we're not going anywhere, and I would certainly not rule out running for office again.
Okay. You're aware of the split in the party. You have your progressive candidates running, Sanders, of course, winning the primary in New Hampshire. You have more moderate candidates, and Buttigieg performing well in both Iowa and New Hampshire. Who gives Democrats the best chance? What kind of candidate? A left-leaning candidate or more of a moderate? To address the very problem you're talking about, which is, again, not just to go after the man Trump, but Trump and the forces that elected him?
Well, I genuinely think that the spectrum that we've come up with for left-leaning versus moderate, capitalism, socialism, the entire thing is really out of date. We never anticipated that technology would come along that could do the work of thousands of people in a matter of minutes. There's a friend of mine who said something I thought was really apt. He said, we never knew that capitalism was going to get eaten by its son, technology. So to me, the labels are not very useful. We have to try and push our market economy to a point where it's actually built around making us and our families stronger and healthier and not maximizing the bottom lines of these companies. I don't know if that's a moderate, centrist idea or a left-leaning idea, but that to me is the future.
Andrew, how do you feel about the bottom of a ticket? Do you want to be a vice presidential candidate?
Well, I would certainly be honored to serve as someone's running mate. I'm already on the record too saying if I can solve these problems as someone's vice president, a member of an administration, we just need to start solving these problems for the next generation, and I'm happy to do my part. I'm also happy to do my part to campaign for the nominee and beat Donald Trump in the fall.
Andrew Yang, thank you for your time, and also just want to say thank you to your wife for coming out a few weeks ago so bravely in that interview with our Dana Bash about what she endured and the sexual assault. I think she helped countless women in this country, so our thanks to her for her bravery as well. We'll see you soon.